Hello everyone. If you have been following my videos, you may be aware that I have challenged myself to give up my personal vehicle for 2 months.
I wonder, why would you do that?
I am conducting this experiment to test whether I can live car-free indefinitely. This experiment is to be conducted as though I do not own a car. Car-free means not owning or leasing a car. Driving a rental is allowed when it makes sense to rent a vehicle. This is a test of the feasibility of not owning a car. This would also mean that I would be able to rent the correct vehicle for a particular job that I had on a given day. If I need a truck, I would rent a truck. If I need a smart car, I would rent a smart car. Why is this so important to me? Do I not like driving? No, I kind of enjoy driving. However, I enjoy riding my bike too. So, I can just see this as giving up one thing that I enjoy for another thing that I enjoy, with many benefits. Imagine a world with cleaner air, less noise pollution, and streets filled with pedestrians, cyclists, and green spaces. Sounds idyllic, doesn't it? However, this dream seems distant in our car-centric society. Our reliance on personal motor vehicles has grown significantly over the past century. Think about this. If you knew anybody who was born in the 1950s, they likely knew people who were born before gas-powered cars existed. Since certainly you have known people born in the 1950s, you have known people who knew people born before the rise of the gas-powered vehicle. While automobiles offer unparalleled convenience and mobility, their widespread use has adverse effects on the environment, contributing significantly to climate change and resource depletion. In recent decades, scientists and environmentalists have been sounding alarms for the urgent need for sustainable transportation solutions. As we race against time to curb our greenhouse gas emissions, there are things that we can do to give us humans more time to solve these problems. One of those solutions is for more of us to go car-free. In this video, we delve into the environmental impact of cars and explore the planet-saving potential of a car-free lifestyle. Drawing from reputable scientific resources, we will quantify the ecological cost of driving and present an alternative vision. One that brings environmental preservation, social equity, and individual well-being to the forefront. The idea of parting ways with your car might seem daunting or even impractical, yet adopting a car-free or car-light lifestyle doesn't necessitate sacrificing mobility or convenience. By broadening our understanding of transportation and reassessing our individual roles, we can begin to carve out a new path towards a sustainable future. So buckle up, or not. And let's embark on this journey to examine the intersection of personal choices, transportation, and environmental stewardship. Let's look at the environmental impact of cars. Vehicles on a road are significant contributors to global warming, with cars being at the top of the offenders list. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, in the United States alone, transportation accounts for approximately 29% of total greenhouse gas emissions, making it the largest contributor sector. Cars, light trucks, including sports utility vehicles, pickup trucks, and minivans account for over half of these emissions, releasing nearly 1.5 billion metric tons of CO2 into the atmosphere annually. All humans on Earth weigh 390 million metric tons, meaning that the U.S. produces almost 4 times the mass of all humanity in CO2 to move about the country per year. When we burn fossil fuels to power our cars, we release carbon dioxide, the principal greenhouse gas responsible for trapping heat in the atmosphere and warming our planet. However, carbon dioxide is not the only issue. Cars emit a range of other harmful gases and particulates, including nitrous oxide and methane, both of which have a much higher warming potential than carbon dioxide or CO2. Additionally, vehicles release pollutants like nitrogen oxide and particulate matter, contributing to poor air quality and posing a direct threat to human health. The Union of Concerned Scientists has presented a comprehensive picture of the vehicle life cycle, emphasizing that the environmental impact of cars isn't limited to tailpipe emissions. We must also take into account the significant energy and resources expended in the manufacturing and disposal stages. Even electric vehicles, often touted as the green alternative, are not without environmental impact. While it's true that electric vehicles produce zero tailpipe emissions, their production process, particularly the manufacture of their large lithium-ion batteries, can be resource-intensive and contribute significantly to their total emissions. It's also important to consider that electricity used to charge EVs is not always derived from renewable sources. As of now, the carbon footprint of EVs varies greatly depending on the source of electricity. Moreover, the disposal process of vehicles, especially their batteries, poses significant environmental challenges. Recycling batteries is not always straightforward due to their complex composition, and improper disposal can result in hazardous materials leaching into the environment. Whether electric vehicles are more or less impacting to the environment than an internal combustion engine over the entire life of the car is not an easy question to answer, as it depends on a very large number of factors, including what type of battery it is using, how the electricity is being generated, and how much you weigh different types of environmental impacts. There are many people who stand very strongly on one side of this argument or the other, probably due to financial reasons, while the real answer is not straightforward. My own personal opinion, and it is only opinion, please do your own research on this, is that on the whole, electric cars are better for the planet than internal combustion engines, but not as much better as many folks believe them to be. In summary of the pollution portion of this video, the environmental impact of cars in terms of pollution is multifaceted, involving not just the emissions produced during operation, but also the resources used and waste generated in their production and disposal. It's a sobering reality that calls for an urgent rethinking of our reliance on personal vehicles.
Before we move on to the water portion, let's go that part of the video that everyone expects to see at some point in the video. And let's do this a little bit different. Please subscribe to channels that promote greener choices, not just my channel, but all channels creating content to help build a greener, more sustainable planet.
Why am I asking you to subscribe to other people's channels as well as my own channel? Should I not just try to promote my own channel? Well, in order for us to maximize our chances at creating a new, greener world that is less dependent on fossil fuel, we need many voices. We as a community need to celebrate the excitement of all of the green channels out there, so that together we will drive change.
Also, the YouTube algorithm is pretty smart. My competitors in my channel are going to have similar keywords. If channels with these keywords get lots of subscribers, YouTube will start to see it as a value to serve up channels with these keywords to more people. In order to really change the world, we need a population of active people working towards a better planet and applying their collective brain powers to make this sustainability easier for everyone to implement in their own lives. So, yes, I want to see my direct competitors do well as myself, for the greater purpose of making a good impact to the planet. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a like if you like it, leave a comment or many comments below, then remember to do this on other channels with messages that you agree with. This will allow the YouTube algorithm to know that people of Earth care about the planet. Now let's switch gears and look at the water footprint of cars. When we think of the environmental impact of cars, the focus often centers on air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. However, there's another less discussed aspect that's equally important: the significant amount of water used in the manufacturing process of cars. According to the Environmental and Energy Study Institute, thousands of gallons of water are consumed during the production of a single vehicle, which makes the automotive industry a major consumer of water resources. The production of steel, a key component in most cars, is notably water intensive. By some estimates, it requires approximately 39,000 gallons of water to produce the average car. The manufacturing process of tires also consumes a significant amount of water. And then there's the water used in painting vehicles, a procedure that involves multiple rinse stages, each of which consumes a considerable amount of water. Moreover, we must consider the indirect water consumption associated with the production of the fuels that power automobiles. Producing a single gallon of gasoline, for instance, can consume anywhere between 3 and 6 gallons of water. Reducing the number of cars produced and encouraging shared mobility or public transportation can therefore lead to substantial water savings. In a world where water scarcity is a pressing issue, this is no trivial matter. Freshwater resources are precious and finite, and their conservation is an integral part of sustainable living. Understanding and reducing the water footprint of our transportation choices is a significant step towards sustainability. It invites us to reconsider our current mobility habits and encourages us to opt for more water-efficient modes of transportation whenever possible. These could include walking, cycling, public transportation, carpooling options that not only save water but also reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality. Reducing dependence on fossil fuels will gain energy independence and help retain a store of power for future generations. An extremely pertinent aspect of the car culture is its significant dependence on fossil fuels. Most vehicles on the road today are powered by gasoline or diesel, both of which are derived from crude oil, a non-renewable resource. Fossil fuel truly is a benefit to mankind, but we are using it at such a rate that future generations will not have any left for them to use. Its impact to the planet would not be so horrific. But we are burning resources that took hundreds of millions of years to produce in just a couple of hundred years. This is unfair to our grandchildren twofold. One, they will not have this store of energy to use. And two, the planet will be devastated by its rapid use. Earth has an amazing ability to adjust, but we are pushing the limits of its systems. This reliance on fossil fuels contributes to several environmental issues. Firstly, the extraction and refining process are energy intensive and cause substantial air and water pollution. Oil spills during extraction or transportation can have devastating effects on local ecosystems, causing long-lasting harm to wildlife and plant life. Moreover, the drilling and fracking processes used to extract oil and natural gas contribute to land degradation and even seismic activity. When used as fuel, these resources emit harmful greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, exacerbating the issue of global warming. The transport section alone, largely dominated by cars, is responsible for nearly a quarter of the direct CO2 emissions from fuel combustion, as per the International Energy Agency. Thus, reducing car usage and hence demand for fossil fuels can have a far-reaching implication for the environment. Less demand would mean fewer harmful extraction processes and decreasing accompanying pollution. Your car-light lifestyle is that it doesn't necessarily require sacrifice, but instead encourages a shift in perspective and a re-evaluation of necessity. When we begin to see cars not as an indispensable part of our daily lives, but as one option among many, we open up the possibility for alternatives, many of which are far more eco-friendly. Public transportation, biking, walking, carpooling not only have smaller carbon footprints, but also reduce the demand for fossil fuel, bringing us closer to a more sustainable future.
Thank you for sharing this information with me. I do want to join you in your car, free or at least a car, light lifestyle. I do want to subscribe to channels that are supporting green ideas and to be part of this movement. I realize I need to rethink my own car use. It will be fun to start riding the bus more and my bike. A community of people working towards a better planet sounds so promising. Tell me more that I can do to live a happy, sustainable life.